The young Sheldon universe is expanding in surprising and heartfelt ways, and the first glimpse into Georgie and Mandy's first marriage proves the spin-off is more than just a new title. It's a whole new chapter. With the premiere just around the corner, CBS has released a handful of official first-look photos that tease not only the wedding of Georgie Cooper Jr. and Amanda Mandy McAllister, but a major tonal and structural shift for Season 2. While Season 1 laid the groundwork for the couple's unconventional love story, starting with an unexpected pregnancy and a proposal that was as awkward as it was endearing, Season 2 seems determined to chart bold new territory. These photos suggest that Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is not just about two young adults tying the knot. It's about legacy, identity, and what it really means to build a life together in the shadow of the larger-than-life Cooper family. And if the premiere photos are any indication, things are about to change in a big way. The photos that say 1,000 words. Let's talk about the photos. The first image shows Georgie, wearing a classic black tuxedo with a slightly crooked bow tie, standing beside Mandy in a vintage off-white wedding dress, complete with lace sleeves and a subtle southern flair. They're in front of a modest altar in the Cooper backyard, a nod to their roots. But the expressions on their faces tell a more complex story. Mandy's smile is tentative, and Georgie's brow is furrowed with what looks like more than just pre-wedding nerves. Behind them, a mix of familiar faces is seated on white folding chairs. Mima, Missy, Mary, and Sheldon himself, awkwardly overdressed in a gray suit, looking bored and vaguely annoyed. But the surprise? A new face in the crowd. A sharply dressed man in his 40s who bears a striking resemblance to Georgie. Could this be his long-lost uncle? Or maybe someone from Mandy's side of the family? Either way, his presence hints at hidden histories and emotional reckonings that Season May 2nd be ready to explore. Another photo shows Mandy and Georgie alone in a dimly lit kitchen, clearly post-ceremony, sharing what seems to be a serious conversation. The wedding rings are on, but there's distance between them, emotionally if not physically. The baby monitor glows softly in the background, reminding us that this isn't just about a couple anymore. This is a family. A shift in tone, from sitcom to serialized drama. What's most striking about the premiere photos isn't just the characters' outfits or expressions, it's the mood. Season 1 of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage leaned heavily on comedy, mining laughs from the absurdity of their rushed engagement, parenting blunders, and awkward encounters with the extended Cooper clan. But these new images suggest a deeper, more mature direction. Could the show be evolving from light-hearted sitcom to something more akin to a dramedy? If so, it makes perfect sense. Both characters are growing up fast. Georgie, once seen as the slacker older brother in young Sheldon, is stepping into the role of provider, partner, and father, and struggling to reconcile those responsibilities with his own arrested development. Mandy, fiercely independent but emotionally guarded, is navigating motherhood and marriage with a man she loves but doesn't fully understand. Together, they're learning that love isn't enough. It takes communication, sacrifice, and resilience. Themes the show seems poised to tackle with more nuance in Season 2. What does first marriage really mean? One of the most talked about elements of the spin-off is its title, Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. It's a phrase loaded with implications. Will there be a second marriage? Will they divorce and remarry each other later? Or does the title simply reflect the instability of young love, a tongue-in-cheek nod to the idea that few people get it right the first time? These questions are exactly what make Season 2 so intriguing. The premiere photos show a couple on the cusp of something beautiful or disastrous. In one particularly evocative shot, Mandy is gazing out a window, her wedding veil slightly crumpled, her expression unreadable. Georgie is in the background, holding their baby daughter, looking unsure of whether to approach her or give her space. It's these small, quiet moments that hint at a show ready to explore the messiness of real relationships. A bigger role for Mima, and maybe even Sheldon? One thing eagle-eyed fans noticed is the increased presence of Mima Annie Potts in the new promotional stills. Not just as comic relief, but as a grounded, mentoring presence for both Georgie and Mandy. She's featured in several of the photos, once holding the baby during a ceremony, another time in a kitchen scene with Mandy, her hand gently on her shoulder. It looks like she'll be playing a more central role in Season 2, perhaps as the emotional glue holding this patchwork family together. And then there's Sheldon. Though young Sheldon has officially ended, the character's presence in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is clearly being carried over, at least for now. It's unclear whether Ian Armitage will be a regular cast member, but his inclusion in the premiere photos suggests we haven't seen the last of Sheldon's hilarious and often unintentionally insulting wedding toasts or scientific parenting theories. Could Sheldon's own coming-of-age arc intersect more deeply with Georgie's this season? With both brothers navigating adulthood in wildly different ways, the show has an opportunity to delve into family dynamics that haven't been fully explored before. What to expect from Season 2? Based on these early visuals, here's what fans can likely expect in the upcoming season. A more serialized story arc focused on the trials of early marriage and parenting. More depth for Mandy, whose emotional world is beginning to unfold as she grapples with her new identity as wife and mother. A struggle for Georgie to find his footing as a provider while honoring his own dreams. A rotating ensemble of Cooper family members, offering comedy and conflict in equal measure. An exploration of generational cycles, what we inherit, what we fight against, and what we choose to pass on. Final thoughts. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is no longer just a quirky spin-off. It's becoming something more ambitious. The premiere photos are not just teasing a wedding. They're teasing transformation. In these still frames, we see uncertainty, hope, frustration, and love, all the raw materials of a show that's ready to grow up alongside its characters. Whether this marriage lasts forever or is just the first of many chapters, one thing is clear. Season 2 won't pull any punches. And fans should buckle up. Because if these first photos are any indication, Georgie and Mandy's journey is just getting started.